Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 28th, and I'm going to be jumping right back in to the beautiful Noble Eightfold Path. And yesterday, the previous video, I talked about right concentration and how it applies across different spectrums, different fields, such as the animal kingdom, field of academics, and in science, in organic biology and organisms, right? But then we're going to bring it home just a little bit more. I want to give more examples of right concentration, examples of wrong concentration, and how they apply to us. So, for examples of right concentration, we can say focus meditation and breath. If you're meditating, how important is it that you are concentrating while you meditate? Meditation allows you to center yourself, and you can't do it without having the right level of focus. So, you don't want to be daydreaming while meditating. Now, some people meditate just fine and they have no issue with it. Other people, like me, meditation isn't my strong suit. It is something that I definitely have to work on mindfully. Also, deep concentration during your mindfulness practices, maintaining a single pointed focus during a task is also concentration. You're cleaning your room, you need to get some things done, you've got to cook, you have to get a project or a paper written. Concentration is key. Now, what about when it's time to get that paper done and you're getting ready for class and you're scrolling mindlessly on your phone? We all do it. It's actually addictive. So, right concentration will allow you to just stay focused and centered. What am I working on right now? How do I bring myself back to focus without wasting too much time? So, for so many reasons, right concentration is really important. Also, for me, I'm pretty sure I'm somewhere on the neurodivergent spectrum and ADHD and all that good, wonderful stuff. So, multitasking definitely can be one thing that hinders you if you suffer from having not having the right concentration. So, having the right concentration really does have implications far and wide when it comes to us getting ourselves together. Now, we want to talk about also, even though we talked about it in different fields and we talked about positive and negative aspects of it, um, I really want to make sure that my channel, we're bringing it all home. We're making it relevant as it pertains to us today. Because then what's the point if we don't? And when Siddhartha Gautama came up with this, he was able to come up with the Noble Eightfold Path within the current context of the day he was living in. Well, we have to do that as well. We have to keep that mindfulness today. What is our concentration? What are we focusing on globally? So then it's not just me, right? Even though the Noble Eightfold Path has to be applied individually, it also applies broadly across the world. This is the globe we have, this is the planet we've been given, and we have to get it right here. So, we're definitely going to be talking about how these steps in the Noble Eightfold Path apply to us today. So, in talking about how our concentration affects us today and the implications that our concentration has today, we need to really keep the term concentration and use it in as broad a context as possible. So when we discuss things that are affecting our planet currently, when we talk about climate change, and we have to think of how our concentration and how climate change are balancing out. For example, we know that we have power plants that emit a lot of emissions into our atmosphere. Not only does it emit a lot of emissions into our atmosphere, it requires a lot of resources, a lot of natural resources that are finite. They don't last forever, they're not infinite. And so, right concentration means where where are those resources going? Where are those limited resources going? And are is it sustainable? Or what is what we're doing sustainable for not just today, but long term. We also have agriculture. Right concentration says, hey, what are we putting in our food? What are we putting in our body? This is agriculture. So everything from the clothes that we wear, right? They come from natural fibers. Then that means it is grown somewhere. The food we eat, that is agriculture. What are we putting in our body? How are we treating these plants and animals that we are cultivating en masse? Uh, Also, our vehicles and transportation, in another way that we have to think about climate change. Every time all these cars we're producing, they are emitting, you know, gases into the air. Are they healthy for us? Are they eating up our ozone layers? Landfills, landfills, fast fashion. Um, Coupled with the agriculture, what are we tossing out? What are we throwing out? What are we creating? What are the items that we're putting in our landfills? Are they breaking back down into the earth naturally? Or are they lasting long outside of what they should have ever been intended to? Where are we putting all of this trash that we no longer have and need? We have offshore drilling. We have fracking, deforestation, overfishing. The list does really go on. So when we talk about concentration, we are talking about the issues that are facing our society today. Now, I can't say that I have a favorite on the Noble Eightfold Path because they're all really important. But the one that I am working on, the one that's gotten me by the toes, is right effort. So as I go through these videos with you, just know that I struggle a bit with putting in the right effort, to get things done. But it's something that I'm working on every day, and this is part of my work. A lot of us are suffering. A lot of us are struggling right now. We're looking for answers. We're trying to understand life. Why is life suffering? Why do I have to suffer the way I do? Why do we have to see people struggle the way they do? We can see what's happening right now in Gaza. We can see what's happening right now in Israel. And it is wrong. And we know that it is wrong. It is not the right concentration to be constantly hurting innocent people, citizens, just because the governments can't seem to get their stuff together. That would be wrong concentration. Period, point blank. There's no other way to put it. But unless we, the individuals who are capable and able and have the privilege to be able to sit back and think about it, we have to do the work to make sure that the people who are in power, who really don't care about us as individuals, they don't have as much power as they do. They are wielding. And honestly, we just need to realize that we have the power and that we are giving the power away. Um, so again, this is all a part of the Noble Eightfold Path, just overall understanding of what's the reality, where we're living, the time we're living in, and what needs to be done. It's really shouldn't be that complicated, but we know humans. Also, another positive example of having the right concentration is going to be education. Teachers and students focusing on online learning um, despite the challenges posed by conflicts or natural disasters, ensuring continuous education. I'm just going to say this. There are some basic human rights that we should enjoy. That's access to clean water, that's access to healthy food, that would be shelter. That also at this point in time in 2024 should be access to internet. Um, Education is important. It has always been from the beginning of time. Humans have always valued experience and knowledge and gaining knowledge. And so that still applies today. So to see young children across this globe not have access to basic education, if it's in their homes or outside of their homes, is a travesty that we really, really should address and immediately fix. So, yes, internet is very important in 2024, and it should be one of the basic human rights. Why not? Also, let's talk about a few negative examples of concentration. And when I say right concentration, of course, the Noble Eightfold Path says right. Um, just definitely be careful not to get too caught up into what's right and wrong, because what's right for you might be slightly different than what's right for me, right? So then the Noble Eightfold Path has to apply within and outward, right? You have to have, and we have to constantly live in the balance. So, an example of negative concentration would be spreading misinformation. Now, we are coming up on an election here in the United States, and it is very, very easy. These politicians, these political campaigns spend billions of dollars now, billions of dollars just to spread information. We know that propaganda is real. We know that some people around the globe that in high up positions, that just happen to be part of their title. And there's a reason for that. So spreading misinformation is really, really, really important. I know that this isn't a message that a lot of people are going to resonate with, that are higher ups, because they need to keep, they need to keep, they need to keep what they got. And spreading truth, they're going to lose what they have because they've most likely attained it unethically. So this is just part of the consequence of it. And, time is coming around to where we're done. We're tired of the the mistruths, the falsehoods surrounding us in general, women, people of color, Black people, disabled people, people with alternative lifestyles. We're all part of this. We're all mixed up in it. And it's just time for us to really be honest about it. What are we concentrating on? What the information when we turn on the news and we watch any of it, um, oh, do you have a particular station that you only listen to? And then think about it. There's your concentration, right? Why do you choose to listen to it? And these are all the things you just got to kind of think about of yourself. It's just, and the one thing I really, really love about the Noble Eightfold Path is it just causes you to look at yourself. It's like it's this way less finger pointing, right, to people outside of you. Once you look at yourself and you figure out how fucked up you are, excuse my French, then you're able to see more openly how everybody else is as well. And then once you come to that understanding, it makes life a whole lot easier. Another negative aspect of the having the wrong concentration is going to be ignoring crises, ignoring issues happening around the globe, avoiding them, avoiding conversations, choosing to stay blissfully ignorant to the issues of impacting people around you. And that's a choice. It is a choice at some point. When we're young and we're raised by our parents and grandparents and communities, we we tend to value what they value and the values that are put on us. But once you get of a certain age, it is the responsibility of each individual to kind of sit back and make sure that the information that they have is accurate and that they're applying it, they're not just applying it to other people or expecting other people to have those qualities or not, applying it to themselves as well. So, avoiding focusing on humanitarian needs, right? And instead becoming consumed by the trivial or distracting concerns. Listen, I love being distracted every now and then. They're great. I love music. I love entertainment. I see how the entertainment industry is just completely failing now because, we're entertaining each other now. The reality TV is actually reality. Um, so again, concentration is important because where we are focused and where we put our concentration is number one, where we spend our money, where our time goes. And like one of my best friends say all the time, you got more time than you got money. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Right concentration from yesterday. Again, since I'm just getting started, I know it's a little bit all over the place, but next we're going to be talking about right action. And right action is definitely one of the ones that we all have to think about, how are you using right action? This is throughout your day. This is absolutely throughout your day. This is throughout the globe. Every industry can look at this. Every human being can look at this. It's within our animal kingdom. It's within our scientific community. It's within our education system. Right action. And the actions that you take are um, they just show who you are and where your concentration is. So that's one of the reasons why I really love the Noble Eightfold Path. It all goes together. It is all connected. And there's so many things that can be outside of or joined to or within. For this is a 2,500-year-old concept that really has been broken down on so many levels. And so if this is something that you're interested in, again, this was the Buddha's very first sermon. But I love its practicality and its implications for today if we just kind of get it right. So I will be posting again very shortly. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested in the book Calmest U, my children's book based on the Noble Eightfold Path, you can find it on Amazon. You can also get it in the digital format, which is a little bit less expensive, but I don't mind because either way, Amazon only gets $1 more if you buy it in print or you buy it digitally. But this really is for everyone. It really, really is. And it's very simple. It's beautiful. Children understand it. And that is why I created it as a children's book. So I will be posting again shortly, and we're going to get to talking about right action next. Thank you.